runs a real estate opportunity fund, who's a close personal friend of Donald's. That's good. But if you go do the math, the party apparatus is going to have to raise that much every day on average. And of course, Donald Trump himself cannot do that many events, so he has to campaign. There is going to be a very interesting development. We have to watch fundraising carefully because it is crucial. Now, Corey Lewandowski is in charge, as I understand it, of the newly announced fundraising operation. It is absolutely clear that, like the Clinton campaign, the Trump campaign is going to need to be augmented with super PACs. We have talked on this program about the problems with Great America PAC, the financial irregularities, the longtime record of Ed Rollins, the chairman, as an anti-Trump antagonist, and now his ties to Teneo Strategy, which is the Clintons. I believe that good old Ed is a quisling, and this is a sabotage operation. There is a group called the Committee for American Sovereignty, a pro-Trump PAC with an august committee. I have sent them $1,000 personally. I know this fellow, Doug Watts, who runs it. He is a competent practitioner of political communications, and he is a real-life Reagan Republican. So I've sent him $1,000 from myself. But the news today really is that the billionaire Sheldon Adelson, who has pledged, according to Politico, $100 million to the Trump campaign, will probably fund neither of these entities and is in talks with a new PAC. What this story doesn't tell you is that among those political professionals that they're in discussion with is Karl Rove. Yes, Karl Rove is back in the House. Rove has been pitching Adelson to let him control the $100 million that is to help Trump. Now, I don't need to tell you that Karl Rove has done nothing but belittle, attack, and underestimate Donald Trump.
By the way, he lives right here in Austin, and I'm just going to leave it at that I happen to talk to a political person who's on record works with Rove some, and he said, look, he's saying, you got to get behind Trump. This is last week, and he just laughed and said, no way. So I know last week he was saying he's going to get Trump. So that's some key intel for you.
Well, here's the other key point, and that is Reince Priebus and his friends at the Republican National Committee would also like to send $30 million worth of data analytical work to the data vault owned by Karl Rove and others. So Karl is now trying to profiteer. It is not just that he is a longtime antagonist and critic of Trump.
Well, he famously has gobbled up most of the Tea Party money. He's a hated creature.
And achieved nothing. The point is, we lost the White House under Karl. We lost both houses of the Congress. He then, in 2012 and the previous cycle, had unlimited money from mega-wealthy donors. He's a loser. He cannot help Donald Trump. He doesn't know how. He didn't see the Trump revolution coming. He doesn't understand the new dynamics. If Karl Rove ends up getting wealthy off the candidacy of Donald Trump through the good graces of Sheldon Adelson or otherwise, that would be a tragic thing.
Well, sure, the mainstream media is saying, look, Bush Sr. and Jeb and former President Bush W. And Mitt Romney and others and the Keating Five, John McCain, they're not going to be at the convention. Oh, it's so terrible. Thank God these horrible warmongering demons that hate Trump because he doesn't want to have war with Russia and war with China, and doesn't want to let radical Muslims in. Thank God, if they were endorsing him, I would have some serious problems with Trump.
Well, but again, that doesn't stop their quisling, their running dog lackey, from trying to cash in on a candidacy that
sure, but isn't that key intel that just last week he was running his mouth against Trump to high-powered Republicans here in town, and that when they were pressuring him, and so that just shows where he's at. He just wants to take Trump money.
He's very definitely in the mix here, talking to Adelson, talking to some around Trump. We have to remember he is not a friend. He is the architect of many of the failed globalist policies that are destroying
So
us.
you and I and our audience are basically Paul Revere's trying to help Trump not be infiltrated because of the fact that there are these political operatives out there.
Look, Donald Trump's a very smart guy, and he knows that Karl Rove is not his friend. But he's out campaigning every day. He's counting on his campaign apparatus to do everything legal to ensure that they raise as much money as they can. Super PAC world is a different place, and there are hucksters in the market like Rollins and his silent partner Jesse Benton, the convicted felon who destroyed Paul's campaign and then Rand Paul's campaign. But I wouldn't put $1 there. If you really want to help Trump, then I would say either give directly to the Trump campaign, give to the Victory Fund of the Republican National Committee, or look at these other super PACs and determine which one has low overhead, competent people who know what they're doing.
Sure, because Hillary's going to be getting the big Goldman Sachs money and everything. It's up to the grassroots to be able to do this because Trump is such a grassroots organization. It's taken no money so far. Now it's starting to because it's like saying you're going to go to space without oxygen. He's got to have the oxygen tanks, folks. It's got to happen if people are serious about winning. But Benedict Lewandowski, Corey Lewandowski, or is it Arnold Lewandowski? All I know is, what's his name again? I don't have a dog in the fight.
I think you're referring to Louis Korendowski. And anyway, Louis said again on Fox this weekend that he was in charge of vetting the vice presidential candidates. Nobody active in the campaign tells me that that is the case. I do know A.B. Culverhouse, very able lawyer, worked for Ronald Reagan, who has been brought in to work on this process. But let me get to the bottom line. My confidence is in Trump. I know that the establishment Republicans are pushing Corker, and others may be pushing Newt Gingrich. And
let's talk. We're talking VP now. Let's get into that.
Exactly. I'm putting my entire confidence in Trump. He knows, above all, that whoever he selects must be somebody who is at one with him on the major issues facing the country. And therefore, the chance of him taking someone out of the establishment, someone who would make Trump an assassination target for some who would, or others who would seek to enter his administration in order to co-opt it, Trump is way too smart for that. He will pick somebody who is a nationalist and entirely loyal to the president. So I'm not worried about some of the names I hear. My friends in the Liberty Movement and in the Republican Party email me every day. They say, oh, God.
Sure, well, let me throw out a couple
here.
Gingrich.
Please not this one. Please not that one.
What about a Senator Sessions?
I like Jeff Sessions. I've known Jeff Sessions since he was in the Alabama Young Republicans and I was running for Young Republican National Chairman. He is a fine individual. He's an excellent lawyer. He was a great judge. He would be a great vice president, and he was the first man in the Congress to endorse Donald Trump. And I hope that Sessions is on the list. There are other